Hello friends, welcome to Mentor Vikas channel. And here in this video, as what we had done in our last video is we had created these blogs and we have these routes. Okay, so whatever the value of this parameters will be there and will be reflected here, right? So we had done the same thing with the reviews, right? So REVI EWS reviews page, right? And here whatever the thing or the params I do pass here will also get reflect here. For example, I think I had just spelled it wrong. Maybe it's review. Okay, yeah. So as you can see, this is 125th 125 review of my blog 12 blog. Okay, so this 12 blog is coming from here. So this param and this 125 is coming from this param, right? But so the now thing is now if I am willing to do something more advanced. So what was that? So let's suppose I want to consider I want to create a blog page. For example, here, for example, at this place where we have for 12th blog. Okay, so let me show you my API. So let us suppose here we have an product ID, right? So I just want to create an cards of product, right? So whenever you click on any product detail, so any product, you must have to relocate to this ID. For example, here we have blog slash 12 it's blog ID, right? So there we have our product ID. So how we can get the data of each product? So for example, if I just go to this route and at the end I just use one, then I must get the data of my first product. Okay, so it's products or it's product, I don't know. So let's define it once again. Okay, so it's products, right? Okay, so to do that I must have to assign an ID here, right? So let's first allow me to assign an ID. So to assign an ID, because this file has been created in this, so not from here but I think from here, from data1.js, right? So here I just need to create an ID, right? So let's create an ID here, right? So now I just want to give an ID. So how I can give an ID? So I just want to start that ID from 1, right? From the 1 position. So as you can see, the initial value that we have in our I is 0. So I don't want to start my ID with 0, right? So I just want to start it with 1. So 0 plus 1 equals to 1. And as this value progresses, it will get updated with different IDs, right? So now if I just after saving this data, if I just go and refresh this, now you can now you must have an ID with it. Okay, so if it is not there, then so not an issue. What exactly we need to do here is just going to refresh this page, restart this server. So I just restart this server, and I also need to restart my server for my front end. So here we have our front end and here we have our server, so JSON server, right? So as if I now refresh this endpoint, I must have an ID, right? So as you can see, so that ID has been generated from here. So it started from 1 and it goes up to like 100, right? So for example, I just want to get the detail of my first product, right? So what should I do? I just have to enter this like slash, right, and enter this. So I must so here I get my first product detail. So if I just go to the second, here I get my second product detail. If I just go with the third, right, so the third product, right, so here I will get my third product detail. Okay, so what basically I want to do, I just want to create a product page. Okay, so in that product page I must have all my product listing. So there I will just only show this product name. Okay, and all the other details. For example, here in our case, there we have a price for that product, right? So as I click on that product, it should open a new page and the route for that particular page is product slash product ID, right? So in our case it could be 1 2 3 4 5 6 or 100, right? So that is what we are willing to create from create here, right? So let's start with this. So to do that, we just have to start with our a new folder, right? So let's create a new folder with the name of products. So let's create a new folders, PRODUCTS, right? So here we have our products folder, and here in this product folder I just want to make an index.tsx, right? So it's tsx, okay. And here in this tsx folder I just want to make a query, right? So let's first create a component structure. So let's type Q and C, and now we have our component, right? So instead of just writing so, I just want to replace this with export default, default, right? So now this component is now being rendered on renders on this path, right? So products path. So let's go to a browser, and instead of writing the blog/12, I just want to go with not password but products, PRODUCTS, right? So now we have this hello Qwik. So from where does this hello Qwik come from? So it is coming from here. So here we have our product list, right? So I just use this, and now we have our product list, as you can see here, right? So what basically I need to do here, I just want to make an API call, and from that API call I must get my first 10 products, right? So let's create an API for this. So I just want to make a limit here, okay, and that limit value should be 10. So by this I am going to get my first 10 products, right? So limit, great. So now we have our 10 products. So I am just going to use this endpoint to make an API request, right? So as you had as in our earlier video, you had you know that how we had make an API request, okay? So we use routers, right? So we use routers resources, sorry. So use resources is being used to make an API request, right? So whatever being the value produced by this user router will be saved in a variable. So let's name it products data, PRODUCTS products data. So all of that data is now being saved in this product data, right? So let's go with this, and in this resources, use resources, I am just going to create and make an API request. And for example, here we have our response, RESPONSE, and this response is coming from an fetch request. So let's first make this an async request, ASYNC, right? And now I am going to make a fetch request. So now we already have our endpoint, right? So I just want to paste it here. So now we have our response, and then I just have to convert it into with using a data. So I also have to use await here, right? So let's paste it there, and now we have our data there, and for the final data is response.json, right? So whatever being the value is now being received from this API is now being stored in this data, okay? So finally, if I just want to if I have to make sure that all of these values is now being transferred to this product data, so what I need to do, I just need to return this, right? So I just want to return this, return my data, okay? So now after doing this data is now being saved here, okay, to this product data. Now so what is my next task? My next task is to just let's console the data, right? So console.log, what I want to console, I just want to console my product data, and I just named it like product data and just save this, right? Great. So let's go to our products page, and now I just have to see in a console. So probably we will not see anything here, but let's try. If I just refresh this page, as I told you, we don't get any data here because the initial request is always made on server, right? So I just have to go there, and now as you can see, here we have our details. So here we have our data, but it shows me it's pending. Okay, it's in pending state. So why it is so? To understand this, I just have to go here, and we make a request to this endpoint, and this endpoint is ready to get our data. Finally we wait and and change this data to the JSON, and we respond, and we get this data like so. Okay, so okay, not an issue. Now the next thing that we have to do here is we have to use our resource to get the data coming from here. Use resources. Okay, so now the next point is we just have to create we just had created an empty block. Okay, and from here I have to import resource. Okay, so I just going to use this resource. So resource component, I can say, right? It is provided by Qwik. So in this resource component, the first is name, and in this name, sorry, the first one is the value, right? So first attribute is value, and in this value I am just going to pass the data which is coming from here. Okay, great. So the second attribute is pending, right? So if you just want to see what are the attributes which is being available here, so is pending. So if it is pending, I just want to show for that time of interval, I just want to show an s2 tag. Okay, and h2 tag, and this s2 tag must give me a sign that is data is loading. So let's type loading, right? Great. And the third parameter that we are going to receive that we are going to use here is our resolve. Okay, so what if the data is being resolved? Then the data should be there, then data should become here, and finally we are just going to use that data, right? So now I just make sure that if my data is being received, so at this point I am just want to return some HTML tag. Great. So let's say we just want to return data dot what we have. So now I just want to create an array. Okay, so why I am doing all this? I just need to do a simple thing. Okay, so let's create this data dot map, right? And maybe the value would be el. Let's name it el. Okay, or product data, let's name it data product, right? So let's name it product product, right? So now we have so this should give me as an h1 tag, right? An h1 tag, and in this h1 tag I am just going to print all the data which is so the name of that product, right? So let's print it like there, like so. Map dot what I can say, map dot what was the key? So key is a name, right? So let's put it in name, and I am just going to give here a key. So the key should be product.id, right? We can use that. It's product.id, right? So now if I just save this data and try to go to my server, and let's try to figure out if it is being rendered on my screen or not. So I just as you can go here, now you can see we have all of these 10 names, starting from this European turtle dove, European towin, okay, so up to the last one, right? So now we had successfully printed all of our data, right? So the next thing that you have to understand, that what basically I want to do, I just want to go to a product/1 page. Okay, so at present, as you can see, there is this page is not found. Okay, so what basically we have to do, I want to display a text, okay, on this site, on this page, okay. And as if I just enter on this, so if I just click on this, it should bring me a page of, like, it's a first data, so it should bring me a page of 1, okay, product/1, right? And if I just click on this, it should bring me to bring me on second product page, and if 3, then third, and then 4, then 5, and 6 and so on, whatever the number of products that I am clicking on, it should open up a new route, okay, and that route should give all the detail of that products, right? So how we can do this, how we can do that? Okay, so to do that, firstly I just need to for example, as you can see right now, if I just navigate to this this route, 1 2 3 4 params, so whatever being the params of here, params we put here, we will just are entering a not found page, right? So instead of that, I just want to have my page first of all there, right? So to do this, as we had already done all these things in our previous video, right? So let's PID, so let's name this a PID, and just I have to wrap it into a bracket, right? So after wrapping this into a bracket, I just go with an index.tsx page, right? And here I just need to create a route component, so let's QC, and here we have our component, right? So now whatever being the route we just put here, and if I just refresh this, we should get this new page. So let's name it something else. Here we have a new page, right? So this should be rendered on the screen, and instead of all this, I just want to remove all this things, right? And just use export default, default default. Now this component should be rendered on that route, okay. So as you can see in my browser, as I just refresh this page, and now we have this, here we have our new page, right? So now instead of just using this so instead of just showing this, I am more willing to show the data which is coming from my product page, okay. So as if I just click on, now as you can see, if I just even go to my 100th blog, okay, so that can have that also render the same page, and if I just go to that 10th, it is also rendering the same page. So instead of showing the same page, I would like to make it more dynamic, which contain all these data, right? Okay, so now just so now our let's move to the next challenge. So here what we basically have to use, so here I have to use what I can say, so as we had already used this into our reviews component, right? So here we have to use route loader, right? So let's first copy this, right, and just as exactly paste here, right? So just let me to do this, as we just had review. So instead of that review data, let's make it a product data, PRODUCT product data, okay. And now firstly I have to import this route loader, right? So to import this, it should import from Qwik, right? So now we have this, and by using this, I just created an async request, and this is the request event from where I will get all my params, right? Great. So instead of just returning this params, now I just want something else. Okay, so what basically I want, so by using this param data, whatever we say from here, I just want to make a request. So I know that the param value should be RID. Okay, so let's capture this RID, and that RID is the product ID, right? So let's write product product ID, and this product ID is equals to request events dot params dot product ID PRI. I think what I had written here PID, right? So let's say PID, right? So now this product ID is now being saved in this, right? So product ID section, product ID variable, right? So now we are just going to use this product ID. We are now just going to use this product ID to make a fetch request. Okay, so let's make a fetch request here. So for the disturbance, now it will pop up a screen on your face. So now I just want to skip this, and let's use this syntax. Okay, so let's copy this because I just want to have my data. So instead of using the same API, I am just going to manipulate that API a little bit, right? So for example, now we are just making a request to this ID, right? So as you can see, to get the single product detail, I don't want this limit 10 kind of params. Okay, so what basically I just want to give one. Okay, so this will give me one product, so my first product, right? So to get this, I also have to create such an API here. So let's replace this whole API endpoint with a new API endpoint, right? So instead of this one, I'm just going to replace this with by using our JavaScript format, right? And this value should be like our product ID, right? Like so. But as you can see, it all behaves like a string. As we will know that instead of this, we have to use our literal sign, right? So it's our literal. Okay. So now we have our product ID here. So whatever the value which is now being received from here now we can directly capture it into product ID and now just use it here. Okay, so now we will get this detail. Okay, so now what we are getting from there is this detail. Okay, for each product. For example, if we just move to our 12th product, we will get all the detail of this 12th product. Okay, so now this is the data where what we have. So this is the data part. Okay, so basically now what we want to do here, we just want to return our data, right? So let's return our data from here, right? So now we have all our data, right? Great. So if I just want to access this data into my component, okay, so I just want to create a variable. So let's give it as some name. So let's name it p data, right? So we know that it's p data is our product data, right? So this product data is coming from this product data. Okay, so we just call this product data here. Okay, we just call this product data here, and whatever being the value is now being saved in product data. Okay, so now if you want to access the different values, okay, for example the ID, the name, the price, how you can do that? So you just have to follow the structure like product dot value dot ID. So this will give me the ID, right? So in the same fashion, if I just want to access all the three values, so instead of the ID, the second parameter would be the name, the third would be like our price, PRIC, PRIC, right? So this should be our data format, okay, to access all these three data, right? So let's say if I just want to display in all of this data into a sequence. So let's capture this and let's print all the three data here. Okay, so this is our product ID, PRODU. Let's take 3 input tags. Okay, why just take 1? Let's take 3, right? So now we have in our div we have 3 p tags. So let's p into 3. Now we have 3 p tags. So in all these 3 p tags, I am just going to replace this with this value. So let's copy all this and let's go here and take curly braces and place this here. Okay, and instead of just a blank, I am just going to write this. Okay, this is our let's paste this. So I am just going to replace all these values and sorry, and I'm just going to give a space, just save. Okay, so now we have all this. So now our component should render this. Now our component should render this. So what is this? So this is our product ID, and there should be our ID. This is our product name, and there should be our name, and this is our product price. This is our price, and the price should be here. Okay, for each and every ID, for each and each respective ID, product ID, right? So now as we move to our component, as you can see here, we have our 10th product or 10th name, whatever being that 10th name. Let's confirm this if it is there or not. Yeah, we have this. Okay, wanted whatever, I'm not interested in that. Okay, so if I just change this to, for example, 5, I should get my 5th product detail. So now we have our 5th product detail and all these. Okay, so now our next challenge is how I can just by clicking on this will navigate to these routes. Okay, so for example, if I just click on one, according to its product ID, it should make me redirect to some other place. Okay, so how we can do this? So to do that, I just need to go with I just want to make this a link tag. Okay, so how I can do that? So to make this a link tag, I just want to place here like link. Okay, that's as we had already seen all this from our previous videos. So you can import this link from firstly you just need to import this link component. So you just have to say okay, import link. So as you can enter this, you will have the link from your Qwik package. Okay, so Qwik module. So now we have this link and we can use this link in our component. Okay, so let's create our link, and here we have our link. So let's print this product name now inside of this link tag, and here we have to use href. Okay, so now we have our href, and here we'll give our route. Okay, so where basically we wants to navigate to. So for example, I just want to give here the information that I just want to navigate from here to a route that is product. Okay, just go here, paste it. What I had by mistaken do something else, but okay, let's make it correct. So now I just want to specify that okay, from there I just want to move to products. Let's copy this, right? Let's copy this format. I just want to move from products to an ID. Okay, and that ID should be the product ID, right? That ID should be our product ID. So let's print this here, and let's take the $sign. So this is not a $sign, this is the $sign. Okay, and instead of this string, I just want to use our literal. So now we have our object literal. So does we had done any mistake? I don't think so, but somewhere I think we had. So why it is so, I really don't know. Let's go with some another option. So let's make this like so, and add our product id product.id, right? That is great. Hey, do I don't know how to handle this? Okay, so here is it, and in this, if I just go with all this format, it should give me my id, but it doesn't work like that. But why it is so? So there must be some kind of error or something that I am doing wrong. Okay, so to do that, to understand that, let's okay, first import this link tag. Okay, so now instead of this h1 tag, I am initially I'm just going to use this link tag. Okay, so in this link tag, if I just going to save this and I just go to my product section, it should give me the link tag, the links of all this. Okay, so it gives me the links, and I am just going to use that href tag. Okay, so let's use href, and now I just want to give a ref. Okay, so the ref should be that product product slash maybe let's say 10. Okay, so if I just click on anything, any link, it should bring me that product slash 10th product, right? So let's click this, and we have a different route because it should be product slash 10. Let's try once again, and if I just click on here, yeah, we get our 10th product. Okay, so now the only challenge that we have is we have to use this, replace this with object literal, and it should not give me any error. But basically what happening here, it is continuously giving me some errors. Okay, so how we can eliminate this? Okay, so how we can eliminate this? Well, to eliminate this, I think I need to use something else. Okay, so let's eliminate this. Let's use this curly braces. Okay, and now I can use my object literals here. Okay, so there, that was the mistake that I had doing there for quite a long time. Okay, and now I can just use my product id, right? So as of now, as I just paste my product id, it should refer me to that product page, whatever I want, right? So instead of now, I can also use my as h1 tag there, right? So let's wrap this h1. So let's wrap this into our h1 tag. Okay, so let's create an h1 tag, and let's wrap this link tag into our h1 tag. So here we have our link tag. Now we had just successfully wrapped our link tag into h1 tag, and instead of giving the product key, the key to this link tag, I have to transfer this to the parent component. So what was the parent component? So parent is h1 tag. So let's save this. Now go to our product section, right? So let's enter, and now we have all the list of our 10 first 10. Okay, so now if I just click on this, it should render the fifth one, fourth one maybe. Okay, so the fifth one
If I just click on the first, it should render the first product. If I just click on that this, so it had rendered my 8th product. Okay, so we have successfully made this. Okay, so this is the way you can use this with our blogs. So we have, so you can show your blog links. As someone click on your on the different blog section, it will give you it will renders, it will redirect to you to some another page. Okay, navigate to the another page where you can show your all of your blog. Okay, all your complete blog. So that is the way you can do that. I hope this video had helped you to lot of more, to learn a lot of things. Okay, so as of now I am thinking to not finish, but to what I can say are just to finish this video here. Okay, so let's meet you in our next video. So take care and have a nice day, and bye bye.